Hello, my name is Jisoo. Forgot my lines for a moment. And I'm reading Master Dōgen Shōbōgenzō. And we were into Shinjin Gakudo, which means learning the truth with body and mind. Learning the truth with body and mind. And we reached paragraph 157. This does not bode well, does it? Paragraph 157 in Shinjin Gakudo. The mind of eternal Buddhas. Long ago, a monk asked the National Master Daisho, "What is the mind of eternal Buddhas?" Then the National Master said, "Fences, walls, tiles, and pebbles." So remember, the mind of eternal Buddhas is beyond fences, walls, tiles, and pebbles, and fences, walls, tiles, and pebbles are not to be called the mind of eternal Buddhas. This is how we learn the mind of eternal Buddhas. It's all very clear. The normal mind, whether in this world or in other worlds, means the normal mind. Yesterday leaves from this place, and today comes from this place. When yesterday leaves, the whole sky leaves, and when today comes, the whole earth comes. This is the normal mind. The normal mind opens and closes within these confines. Because 1,000 gates and 10,000 doors at any one time are open or closed, they are normal. The present whole sky and whole earth are like speech which is unfamiliar, like a voice erupting from the ground. But the words are in equilibrium, the mind is in equilibrium, and the Dharma is in equilibrium. The living and dying of lifetimes arise and vanish in the moment. But in regard to lifetimes before the ultimate body, we are utterly ignorant. Ignorant though we are, if we establish the mind, we will unfailingly progress along the way of Bodhi. Already this place is present, and we should have no further doubt. Already there is doubt, but that itself is normal. The body learning the truth means sorry, start again. I've had a bit of a cough and thing today, so this might not go well. I'll end up sounding like Jason Statham. The body learning the truth means learning the truth with the body, learning the truth with a mass of red flesh. The body derives from learning the truth, and what derives from learning the truth is, in every case, the body. The whole universe in 10 directions is just the real human body. Living and dying, going and coming are the real human body. Using this body to quit the 10 wrongs. 10 wrongs, what are the 10 wrongs? Killing, stealing, adultery, lying, flattery, abusive language, two-faced speech, greed, anger, and foolishness. And to keep the 8 precepts, well, we know those. Not killing living things, not stealing, not having sexual intercourse, not lying, not drinking alcohol, not wearing decorative clothing or makeup. I'm not aware of that one. And not enjoying entertainment. Sorry. Not sleeping on high, luxurious beds, not eating after midday. Slightly different from the list I'm aware of. Anyway, to take refuge in the 3 treasures and to give up a family and leave family life. This is the real learning of the truth. On this basis, we speak of the real human body. Students of later ages must never be like non-Buddhists of the naturalistic view. Zen Master Daiichi of Hyokujo says, if a person attaches to the understanding that, being originally pure and originally liberated, we are naturally Buddha and naturally one with the way of Zen, that person belongs among the non-Buddhists of naturalism. Excuse me. These are not the broken tools of an idler. They are the accumulated merit and heaped up virtue of learning the truth. Having sprung free, they are brilliant in all aspects. Having dropped free, they are like wisteria hanging on the trees. Sometimes they manifest this body to save others and preach for them the Dharma. Sometimes they manifest another body to save others and preach for them the Dharma. Sometimes through non-manifestation of this body, they save others and preach for them the Dharma. Sometimes through non-manifestation of another body, they save others and preach for them the Dharma, and so on, as far as not preaching for others the Dharma. At the same time, in Hyakujo's abandonment of the body, there is something that has stopped all sound by raising its voice. Stopped all sound by raising its voice. Master Dōgen not only praised Master Hyakujo's words, but also supposed Hyakujo's powerful presence as a speaker when he delivered the words to an audience. Okay. Let's start again. At the same time, in Hyakujo's abandonment of the body, there is something that has stopped all sound by raising its voice. And in his throwing away of his life, there is something that has got the marrow by cutting the bowels. He's realized the truth through painstaking effort. Right. He develops as his own children and grandchildren, even those who set out to learn the truth before the king of majestic sound. They just keep on coming. A very old Buddha mentioned in the Lotus Sutra. The words, the whole universe in 10 directions, mean that each of the 10 directions is the whole universe. The east, the west, the south, the north, the 4 diagonals, up and down, these are called the 10 directions. That's nice actually, because he often talks about the 10 directions, but it's there, he actually says it. The east, the west, the south, the north, the 4 diagonals, up and down, those are called the 10 directions. We should consider the moment when their front, back, length and breadth are perfectly whole. Considering means seeing and ascertaining that the human body, although it is restricted by self and others, is the universe in 10 directions. We have heard in this expression what has never been heard before, because its direction is balanced and because its sphere is balanced. Sphere is the whole universe in 10 directions, he says. The human body is the 4 elements and the 5 aggregates. Neither the great elements nor the smallest particles can be wholly realized by the common man, but they are mastered in experience by the saints. Further, we should clearly see the 10 directions in a single particle. It is not that the 10 directions comprise single particles. In some instances, a monk's hall and a Buddha hall are constructed in a single particle, and in some instances, the whole universe is constructed in a monk's hall and a Buddha hall. On this basis, the whole universe is constructed, and construction on this basis is realized. Such a principle is that the whole universe in 10 directions is the real human body. We should not follow the wrong view of naturalism. That which is beyond spatial measurement is not wide or narrow. The whole universe in the 10 directions is the 84,000 aggregates of Dharma preaching. It is the 84,000 states of samadhi. It is the 84,000 dharanis. That's the end of the sentence. Because the 84,000 aggregates of Dharma preaching are the turning of the wheel of Dharma, a place where the wheel of Dharma turns is all the world and is all of time. It is not a place without directions or boundaries. It is the real human body. You now and I now are people of the real human body, which is the whole universe in 10 directions. We learn the truth without overlooking such things. As we continue moment by moment to give up the body and receive the body, whether for 3 great asamkhayas of kalpas, for 13 great asamkhayas of kalpas, or for countless great asamkhayas of kalpas, the momentary state of learning the truth is always to learn the truth in forward steps and backward steps. In other words, by action, both active and passive. Sorry about that. To do a prostration and to bow with joined hands are the moving and still forms of dignified behaviour. In painting a picture of a withered tree and in polishing a tile of dead ash, there is not the slightest interval. Effort continues 24 hours a day. The passing days are short and pressed, but learning the truth is profound and eternal. The air of those who have given up their families and left family life may be bleak, but we are not to be confused with woodcutters. The livelihood is a struggle, but we are not the same as peasants. Do not compare us in terms of deludedness or of good and bad. Do not get stuck in the area of wrong and right or true and false. Living and dying, going and coming, are the real human body. These words, living and dying, describe the aimless wandering of the common man and at the same time that which was shed by the great saint. The effort to transcend the common and transcend the sacred is not simply to be described as the real human body. In this effort, there are the 2 kinds and the 7 kinds of life and death. At the same time, every kind, when perfectly realized, is totally life and death, which, therefore, we need not fear. The reason we need not fear life and death is that even before we are through with life, we are already meeting death in the present. And even before we are through with death, we are already meeting life in the present. In short, life and death coexist in the present. Life does not hinder death, and death does not hinder life. Neither life nor death is known to the common man. Life may be likened to a cedar tree, and death to a man of iron. Cedar trees are restricted by cedar trees, but life is never restricted by death, for which reason it is the learning of the truth. Life is not the primary occurrence, and death is not the secondary one. Death does not oppose life, and life does not depend on death. Zen Master Engo says, "Life is the manifestation of all functions. Death is the manifestation of all functions. They fill up the whole of space. The naked mind is always moment by moment." We should quietly consider and examine these words. Although Zen Master Engo has spoken like this, he still does not know that life and death is beyond all functions. When we learn going and coming in practice, there is life and death in going, there is life and death in coming, there is going and coming in life, and there is going and coming in death. Going and coming with the whole universe in the 10 directions as 2 wings or 3 wings goes flying away and comes flying back, and with the whole universe in the 10 directions as 3 feet or 5 feet steps forward and steps backward. With life and death as its head and tail, the real human body, which is the whole universe in the 10 directions, can turn somersaults and turn around its brain. In turning somersaults and turning around its brain, it is as if the size of a penny or like the inside of an atom. It is as if the size of a penny or like the inside of an atom. The actions and thoughts of a real human body, although it is one with the whole universe, are not abstract and general, but concrete and exact. Okay, thank you. The flat, level, and even state is walls standing 1,000 feet high. 1,000-foot walls suggests difficult problems in daily life. I can definitely relate to that. And the place where walls stand 1,000 feet high is the flat, level, and even state. Thus, the real features of the southern continent and the northern continent exist. Examining their real features, we learn the truth. The bones and marrow of non-thought and non-thought exist. Resisting this idea, we solely learn the truth. Shōbōgenzō Shinjin Gakudo preached to the assembly at Horinji Temple on the day of double good fortune in the 3rd year of Ninji. The day of double good fortune. Double Yang Day means the 9th day of the 9th lunar month, seeing 9 as a lucky day. Chinese sometimes represented the number 9 as Yang, which represented the bright side of life. 9th of September is double lucky day. I'm definitely celebrating that one. And 3rd year of Ninji is, of course, 1242. Right. Thank you for listening. Take care.